So, to kick things off with Gremlins, what is it that drew you to this project?
Everything. I was a massive fan of the film, massive fan of Steven Spielberg, and just the fact that they're taking a character that was very mysterious and not really, delved into the character of Mr. Wing, and bringing him back to tell his backstory as a kid. Just brilliant. Yeah.
So I know when I was growing up, a lot of media like this kind of kept the parents to the side. The kids never told their parents what was going on, but Sam's parents play such a big role in this story. And I wonder, was that something that was like really important to you in going into this backstory, that the parents are also such a part of it?
Yes. And, being a mom of two kids, like I wanted to make sure that these two parents had a strong influence on Sam. Even though Sam was already so independent, he loved his family. He loved family life, and the fact that they are not a traditional type of Chinese parents, especially in the 1920s back in Shanghai. Both Fong and Hong were a couple that worked together, that were equals, that respected each other. I think those are just all such positive role models for kids and and for families in general. That and the fact that she is a massive protector. She's fearless when it comes to taking care of Sam.
Are there aspects of yourself that you kind of worked into the character as this was being developed, or did you already feel such a strong connection to her?
I felt such a strong connection to Fong. She's a Chinese mom. She loves to, try to have some control. And when she doesn't, she panics. But at the same time, she is willing to allow Sam to become his own individual person. And those are all things that I want for my kids, that I want to be able to set boundaries for them when they're younger. But then the ultimate goal is that they're happy when they're adults and pursue what they want.
What is something, no spoilers, obviously, but what is something you would like to see from the Wings, like in season 2 going forward, like just in kind of a broader sense, I guess?
I think it would be great to find out more about, Fong's, if Grandpa has, her dad has these special powers, right?
Yeah.
There's some, it's got to have been passed down. So I think there's a reason why she got into Chinese medicine. I think there's a reason why she's as smart as she is. And I would love to have, Fong and Hong have more scenes together too, because I love BD, and it's just always so great. We've had this chemistry all these years, and it would just be fun to continue to explore and play with these characters with BD Wong.
I know sometimes with animation, sometimes you're recording on your own, sometimes you're recording together. Did you and BD get to record together at all, or was it all kept separate?
Yeah, no. We had to work separately because it was during COVID,
right?
That time. So, and he lives in New York, and I live in LA. But I think we just, we can hear each other at this point.
Yeah.
After over 2 decades. So there's just this innate chemistry that we have with each other.
So pivoting for just a second, I have to ask about Star Wars because I'm a huge fan of yours. I'm a huge fan of Fennec Shand. When I got to speak to Tamora Morrison last year, I sort of asked him in his head, what the continued adventures of Boba and Fennec would look like. So I want to ask you the same thing. If you got to continue that story, what does that look like to you?
I would like to see what they do with their what's the word, he's this lord now of Tatooine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he is managing to have some control, but he was trying to do it one way, and I'm not sure how effective it was. So because he was trying to have a greater honor system, and I would love to see that he turns back to a bit more what Boba Fett was in also being able to maintain justice or accomplish what he needs to accomplish on Tatooine. But and then ultimately just to have a lot of fun battle scenes.
So bringing it back to Gremlins, then what is something you hope both fans of the original movie and then now new fans will be able to take away from the show?
With Gremlins, oh gosh, just the fact that, you know, the original Gremlins had one particular storyline about the Chinese Mogwais. And now with this Gremlins in Secrets of Mogwai, you get to explore the Chinese culture more. You get to explore the Chinese history in Shanghai in 1920s. You get to see other types of folklores and fairy tale characters that I grew up with. And to be able to share that, you know, and everything from even the Chinese medicines to the magic that I grew up. It's just sort of like a mix of, you know, our Harry Potter with Grimm's fairy tales with, you know, and those were scary fairy tales. We grew up with the same. I think it was a way to like teach kids and scare them a bit. But the great thing is, because we still have Joe Dante and Steven Spielberg behind it, it maintains that fresh sort of energetic shock value that the original film had, and yet super family friendly. So I'm looking forward to seeing the reactions.
So you mentioned having grown up with these stories. Were any of your favorites touched on, or is that something maybe down the line?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what I can talk about, but definitely there were many, many characters like, oh, I saw those in the movie back when I was a kid, you know, with my mom. And I'm like, I don't know why my mom took me to those scary movies. But yeah, I don't think she worried about it very much. I used to remember like all kind of like I still remember to this day that scared me for a long time. There was this like ghost or something that came out of the toilet.
Oh, God. So that's the kind of thing that
from the toilet when I was younger.
Oh man. Well, thank you so much. Congratulations on the show. It was lovely to speak with you.
Thank you. Yeah, I hope everyone enjoys it. It's such a great animation.